You are now listening to Sir Ink's The Experience Podcast, where we talk about anything and everything kink. Now, this podcast is only catered to those that are 18 and above and may not be suitable for work, or as we like to say, NSF. But remember, you can always listen to us during your private time. Hello, kinky and kink curious folk out there. My name is Sir Ink. When she says, I don't know much about Bdsm, but I'm curious, what comes next? Let's talk about it. What comes next? What comes next? What's the old saying? When the student is ready, the teacher shall appear. And so when she says she's curious, you have to be ready to teach. Knowing that no matter where you are in your level of the lifestyle, even if you're just a month in, you're a month ahead of that person on information and maybe experience. The first thing you do not want to do is invite that person over and start doing sessions and kink acts, especially if you're newer to the game. And it's okay to be upfront about what part of the game you're in, because you two can grow more in together, and it makes your experience enriching. When you're learning together, it's like, ooh, everything's green, you know? But when the student says they're ready, the master shall appear. And so you have to go into teacher mode. Before you can get into just Dom mode, you have to go into teacher mode. You have to teach this person about the lifestyle. Start with the history. Work your way up about the different aspects of the lifestyle. The leather culture, the latex culture. If you're into the lifestyle, let them know the different roles of submissives, the different roles of dominance, and let them know where you stand. But start with teaching. Teaching is very important. You're not only teaching them about the lifestyle, which will benefit them, period, but then after you get them with a good foundation about what it is, and then you insert who you are and what your ways are, if she wishes to serve you. If she chooses you to serve, now you start implementing your ways into her. But she has to have a foundation. The foundation can't be just your ways from the beginning, in my opinion. I think there has to be a basic foundation of what BDSM is, the historical background of it. Then that way that person can find out, they can say, well, hey, I have these three types of submissive personality in me, so this makes up who I am. Fine. And then they want to explore that with you. Then you create a framework around the type of submissive she is and her desires, and who you are as a dom and your desires, and then you two start to grow together. You start to bring her along, but she's looking to you for guidance, instruction, and knowledge. But you have to be ready to teach. When the student is ready, the master shall appear. Boom, like that. Appear. But you have to show up to teach. That is the most important piece of advice that I can offer you. That when she says she's curious, she's opening up the door. Now, don't go just jumping in the door or running her over, knocking her over, trying to get the door open. Take your time. Allow her to open the door up all the way in her time. in her time. Let her take her time. If she wants to open the door right up, great. If she wants to open it up slowly and slowly and slowly, be patient. Because when she opens it up, it's all to you. It's all to you. But she has to open it up for you. And when she opens it up, be prepared to walk in and give a lesson. And after you teach a lesson and she's learned the basics, then you start adding all the things on top. You start adding more layers on top. Your layers can go on top after she has the basics. That's how this goes. Because what you want to add to this person's progression. And so when you teach them the basics, you're teaching them that I care about you to the point that I want you to understand this. Whether you're doing it with me or you're doing it with someone else, I want you to understand what it is that you're curious about. Then you add your layers on when she's open enough and curious enough to say, I would like to try this with you. That's when the door is open. You walk in with your lesson plan and you teach her your ways. That's how this goes. When she opens the door all the way, then you teach her the lesson. Your lesson, your ways. It's almost like into a door-to-door salesman. They don't have them anymore, right? But you know you come knocking and he's going to try to sell you, right? And you crack the door open, you listen to the sales pitch. His objective is to, tell you about the product and why it's so great or whatever service or product he's selling. He's trying to tell you why it's so great so you can open up the door. Then he can come in and start giving you, and you invite him in, and then he starts giving you the nuts and bolts and and all the perks and, all the discounts they have if you get it right now, all that. It is about selling yourself too. Once you get in the door, you have to sell yourself. But once she says she's curious, give her a little taste. Give her a little taste. Just a little. But what do you think? Let me know, please. Please like and subscribe and let's talk about it. My thing is always about conversation and relationships. I want to get more into the whips and chains, and I'm going to get back to those things. But if you can't get first base right, nothing else is going to be right. And I watch a lot of people jump into dynamics without having some basics. Even the ones that already have knowledge of the lifestyle jump right into some stuff. They jump right and down in submissive mode without having a nice rollout of who they are, a nice rollout of who he is. And once you're in, now you're looking around like, well, damn, what the hell? Yeah, you didn't take your time. Take your time. Get it right. Stop trying to rush. All the other kink and the sessions and all that other stuff it will come. It's going to come. It's there. But before you get there, please roll yourself out. We have to be able to trust people. Roll yourself out. Be as honest with yourself as you possibly can. And in this lifestyle, I've found that people are a little bit more upfront. Especially, well, I can't really say more women than men. I can't really say because I've met a lot of fake chicks online, and I know a lot of women that's met fake dudes, and they met some real dudes, so I can't really say. It's a crapshoot for everybody, right? But take your time, vet properly, weed people out. You as a dom, you have to do vetting. Just because she says she's curious doesn't mean she's a good candidate. Doesn't mean she's the student for you. And knowing your ways, this is what you have to understand. Maybe she's a submissive, but she's not the kind of submissive that you need. She may not be the kind of submissive you need. So just because she's submissive doesn't mean you're the man or you're the dom for her. there is still more work that needs to be done. And so I'm imploring you guys to think about your lesson plan. Make sure it starts off with the basics and add your layers in after that. But again, please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments. Until next time. You know how to find me, Sir INQ, on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And you can always email me at sirinq09@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Until next time, peace.